I learned a few things this time. I think the one thing I found, obviously, the women being there to support the men is so important because the biggest thing still is embarrassment.
Yeah.
For some reason, the embarrassing part, you know, it was the same as last week when we talked about, you know, testicles. People are so embarrassed, even by saying the word testicles.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
And this one, obviously, because of the exam, people are so afraid of it and so embarrassed by it. So the women being there supporting the men has been huge. And the biggest thing I learned was from the 3 guys, there were 3 different cases and 3 different stages of when they found it. And from having no symptoms, obviously, it makes it very hard. So you can see what each person had to go through on how late they caught it. Like the last guy's story, so I forget his name now, apologies. The last man's story, he found it quite late, and what he had to go through was horrific.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it really was, and he wouldn't have got through without his wife, as he said.
And the quicker you get it sorted out, the better. I mean, Vogue, the thing is, men are not, you know, they still need to be kind of pushed into this, isn't it? And in a way, I think the women in their lives had to take responsibility for that.
Yeah, well, when you look at Colin and Tracy, he had symptoms, like, more than what the other 2 had, and he still wasn't going to go to the doctor or anything, and it was only when Tracy overheard him actually going to the toilet that she thought, oh my God, there's something wrong, he needs to go get checked. So it really was her pushing him, probably was the difference between him going through what Tony went through and what he had to go through, which was much easier.
And
sorry, Tony, by the way.
No, it's fine, it's fine, and it's that embarrassment factor. That's what you have to get over. So, Hilary, basics. What should men and the women in their lives, what should we be looking out for?
OK, well, when a guy starts to find that the stream of urine is not as strong as it used to be when he was 21, maybe, you know, he should start to take stock of that. If there's any hesitancy before he pees, any dribbling at the end, if he's getting up at night more often, more than once, say, and if he's going more during the day, those are all signs of an enlarged prostate. Now, 9 out of 10 cases are going to be benign, but 1 out of 10 could be cancerous. And as we've been hearing from Brian and Vogue, 1 in 8 men during the course of their lifetime will develop prostate cancer if they live to the age of 90. OK, so if you don't die of anything else in the meantime, there's quite a high chance you'll get prostate cancer. But younger men who get those symptoms, even from their 40s onwards, need to go and get it checked, because you just never know whether it's benign enlargement or
Do you know, the couple of the boys actually said, when you're talking about the wee thing, about it changing, a lot of them thought at the beginning it was just because they'd had a few points. And they were actually thinking, well, I was out on Saturday night, I had a lot to drink.
And sort of explaining it to themselves, I understand,
so that's another thing to be careful of. It's not always the drink.
No,
Can't blame us for everything.
No, that's very true.
Family history is important. You know, if you've got it in the family, definitely go and get checked regularly. Any man over 50 can go and ask for a PSA test, which is a blood test, which measures a chemical in the blood which is raised if you've got prostate cancer. It's not a yes or no answer, but it gives you an indication, and you can go from there.
Do you know what, another thing I want to say, and the embarrassing thing, we all get that, OK? But I tell you, getting that test is going to be, you know, uncomfortable and awkward, but what you will have to go through if you don't.
Indeed.
You will, you know, it's the worst thing you could ever go through in your life.
We can't imagine for a second what you've been through. Of course we can't. We can only sympathise. But the thing